This is a Glass Box Media podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another Shorty episode. This is the Shorty episode for June.
Can you believe it's June?
No.
I'm like floored. Do you remember when lockdown started? I remember when lockdown started and I had just had my period. Yes, we're starting this episode out with period talk. I don't want to hear about it.
Here we go.
But I had just had my period a week before, and I remember thinking should I buy more tampons? Because everyone was going fucking crazy and buying all the toilet paper. And I was like, should I buy more tampons? And I was like, we probably won't be in lockdown by the time my next period comes.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, yeah. Sweet and naive. And here we are, 2.5 months later.
3 periods later.
Honestly.
Oh, yes. Yes, I judged time passing by how many periods.
I mean,
that's truly, how this is.
We're under enough pressure. The periods should be suspended until the end of lockdown, until further notice.
Yeah, it's like deferring rent. I'd like to defer my periods.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay. Well, who wants to go first?
Well, do we have a would you rather question?
Oh, shit. Okay. Would you rather... This is a good one. Would you rather be on top of a Ferris wheel during an earthquake or during an electrical storm? I feel like this is good because any of these things could happen right fucking now. 2020.
God. Yeah, you're like, which ring of hell are we in? Okay. On a Ferris wheel during an earthquake or during an electrical storm. I'm gonna go earthquake. And here's why. Because I feel like, yes, it would be terrifying, but the way that the Ferris wheel is, you swing back and forth, right? And that reminds me of the shock absorbers that they put in buildings where it slides on rollers to absorb some of the shock so that the building doesn't go down. So I feel like there's a potential that you might just swing.
Yeah.
Albeit it would be very scary, but an electrical storm would electrocute you.
Yeah.
But the earthquake can make the Ferris wheel fall down.
Yeah, I'm with Keegan on this one, though, because
if
you're in the air at the top of a Ferris wheel, I don't know, the likelihood of getting electrocuted in an electrical storm, which lasts longer typically than an earthquake, too. An electrical storm, those can last hours. An earthquake will last minutes.
You're basically like a metal conductor, right?
Oh, my God.
And, if you get hit by lightning in a Ferris wheel, I feel like it will travel throughout the entire Ferris wheel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be electrocuted to death. I have seen the Green Mile, and it looks unpleasant.
Dude, I am so scared of earthquakes, and I am convinced that, that will topple the Ferris wheel over, but there's something about it where I'm I do feel like even that is maybe survivable.
That's what I was thinking.
Getting struck by lightning.
I mean, you're not fastened into also what kind of Ferris wheel? Because are you talking about a carnival Ferris wheel where it's basically just a bench with a bar in front of you? Or are you talking about a Disneyland Ferris wheel where you're in an enclosed cage?
Yeah.
No,
I'm thinking a regular old Ferris. Ferris
like a carnival one?
Yeah, like a carnival Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
That's my
I feel like you'd be less likely. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I feel like you'd be less likely to survive a carnival one if it toppled over because you're really not enclosed in anything. But those are generally much smaller.
Also, you'll probably hit something on the way down, so you might not make it all the way to the ground. I don't know. Right. All that seems way more survivable to me than a fucking electrical storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
But
if you
the
get
electrical
hit,
storm, you have the chance of not even getting hit by
but there's
lightning.
that. Yeah.
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
because I think if you get hit in an electrical storm, you're done, son. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
And it will
But
be
it might not.
terrible.
But you're
But-
in the
but-
air.
You might not. I don't know, man. Also, what's the severity of this earthquake? Are we talking like, is it like a 5 or?
I don't like any of this.
No, it's
I don't
all
even like
bad.
Ferris
Yeah.
wheels.
It's
Yeah.
they're not that fun.
No.
They're
Yeah.
not that fun.
No.
Let's be honest. Everybody rides the Ferris wheel at Disneyland when their legs are tired and they don't want to stand anymore.
That's right. You're just like, this line seems short. Perfect.
Yeah, I get to sit for like 15 minutes. That sounds good.
This will do.
The only time I've had fun on a Ferris wheel was when I got like finger banged at Wyandotte Lake.
Wow.
It was like
You got
fear.
straight up. What was that movie?
Fear.
Fear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Wild
Wild
Horses play?
horses.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God. Marky Mark.
Ugh.
Anywho, you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
I've got a good one. It's super
Okay.
short. In fact, it makes me think of those like 6-word stories
Okay.
that for sale baby shoes never worn kind of thing. This is only 3 words.
Oh,
God.
Are
shit.
you ready?
Yes.
This was somebody's worst date, and this was the 3 words they used to describe
Oh, no.
it.
It's a quickie.
Yeah. 27 Disney tattoos.
Oh my God. Look,
Okay.
you guys, listen. I love Disney. I get annoyed when people act as though adults aren't allowed to like things like Disney or Harry Potter or
Same.
whatever. I'm like, life is hard and let people enjoy things and escape into
Yes.
childhood. Okay, let them do that. It's fine. But
I'm going to say it's not a
20
deal breaker for me. I'm just throwing it out there. I like tattoos and I love
27?
Disney. I don't care.
okay, well, here's the thing. Is it like one piece? Because I have seen some really cool Disney themed like sleeves. Like,
Real
is it
cool
like
stuff.
27 Disney characters in one sleeve? No.
They did not elaborate. That was all they had to say about the date. So I just like, in my head, I'm just trying to infer like all these different things. If they're, because I like tattoos too. I fucking love tats, but
How well done is this tattoo?
27 different Disney tattoo. So that's also a thing. Like have a Disney tattoo on you and have like other tattoos. But the idea that all of them are specifically Disney
I
is
would
just, like,
say yes.
fascinating to me.
I don't know that. I mean, it wouldn't be a deal
They're getting-
breaker for me.
They're getting married at Disney World.
wish.
They're having that Disney themed wedding.
That shit's
They're having-
expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, like that shit is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for me. I would have to see the quality of these tattoos.
Right. Same. But that's the thing about any tattoo, though, for me. Like, it could have
Yeah.
been 27 racist tattoos. So
Oh, yeah,
Right.
true.
that
Right.
would have been a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Prison tattoos.
What if they're like,
27
oh no, I'm
prison
also
tattoos.
racist? You're like, oh, great.
It's like Mickey with like a Nazi sign on his forehead. You're like, God damn it.
Oh no!
Do not desecrate Mickey that way.
Terrible. Terrible.
27 prison tattoos.
Ugh. Okay. Speaking of that,
Oh, God.
okay. I once dated a guy who let me stay at his house overnight and then left for work in the morning. He locked me in the house and told me I wasn't allowed to leave the house without him there. Like all the doors were locked, front door, back door, side door, etc. We'd been dating about a month. He seemed perfectly normal up until that point. Yes, I got out. No, we didn't continue to date. Speaking of people who
How
belong
does-
in prison.
How do you
Holy.
not have like? That's not how locks work normally.
No, which
right?
means that he definitely
That's right.
He's had to set something
Mhm.
up.
Yes, he created
Oh my
this
God.
situation so that she couldn't get out of the house, which means he planned ahead of time, which means that person does belong in jail
I have
because
chills.
he's planning something. Nobody like retrofits their house.
No, I have chills. Oh, my
Horrifying.
God, you guys. That's fucking okay. Well, I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit, hopefully. I work in an Italian restaurant a few years ago. I waited on a guy and a girl who met for the first time upon arriving at the restaurant. They were awkward. There were awkward pleasantries exchanged at the door, and then they were seated. When I was taking their order, the guy asked me if we had soup because he had had mouth surgery a few days prior, and chewing food was a little rough. We don't have soup, so I explained that the softest food on the menu was gnocchi. He ordered the house
what?
gnocchi.
Oh, gnocchi. Okay.
He ordered the house gnocchi. Sorry, I'm snuffy. Which reminds me, I forgot to take my allergy meds. He ordered the house gnocchi and proceeded to cut each tiny dumpling into 4 or more pieces.
Oh my God.
Slowly chew each piece. He ate the entire dish over a 3-hour period.
No,
and the girl stuck
honey.
it out for the whole thing. She looked miserable, and I'm pretty sure they never saw each other again.
I mean, I want to say that it's probably because his mouth hurt, but I'm like,
Right.
maybe don't go on a date so soon after surgery.
That's right. Like, what do you
Or
do?
pick a place that has soup.
Or don't go.
Or just postpone. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I just had mouth surgery. I really do want to go out. Let's have a
3
drink.
hours.
That's can you imagine? Gnocchi's like what, an inch long? Like,
Yeah, if
How
that.
big are those pieces? Each piece is smaller than a pea. Like it's like a
God.
teeny
He's just-
tiny. You could just
just
swallow it
melting
like
it
a
in his mouth.
pill at that point.
right? He just like pushes it against the roof of his mouth until it dissolves.
Oh God.
Gross. Okay, I got a pretty good one. Okay. I have a female friend that was dating a guy she met on World of Warcraft. Things got pretty serious with him, and he'd made plans to move several states over into her place. She was ecstatic, and all of her friends, myself included, planned to gather together to hang out so that we could meet him and help him move in. So this is their first
I'm sorry.
meeting.
You look, no shade about making friends on the internet because like that's it. We're in the 21st century, whatever. Like
Right. This is
whatever.
Things happen this way.
However, you gotta meet somebody before you move them into your house. Like you have to. I
Yeah.
watched an episode of Hoarders where that happened, where like it was okay.
Stop.
So it was like a couple who had dated in high school. Then like she got
Oh,
married,
no.
he moved away. Then she got divorced and they had like reconnected on like Facebook or whatever and started like dating, like Facebook dating. And so they did that for a while. And then she was like, hey, why don't you move here and move in with me? And he was like, okay. So he like got rid of all his shit, like moved
no.
across the country. And her house
I have chills.
was hoarder house.
No.
Like every room full of shit.
Oh,
Like
no.
the house ended up being so bad by the time they went in and cleared everything out that it wasn't salvageable. Like they were going to
Oh
have to
my
demolish
God.
it. It was like the amount of money that it would have cost to fix the house was too much and they couldn't move back in. Like it failed inspection. Can you imagine? This is why you have to hang out first.
Wait,
You can't just move into someone's house.
Christina, was that the end of the
Hoarders
story?
gives me so no.
Oh, so
I was
sorry.
like-
I just had to point
Sorry,
out, like,
no,
that
that's
was an
fucking
example.
crazy.
It
No,
went
that's
very
good.
wrong.
That's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
Things got pretty serious. So the morning he was supposed to leave, he drops off the face of the earth. He won't answer the phone. He won't answer texts. He has no presence online. So we all kind of sat around with this girl while she continually freaked out about it. She didn't actually know anyone who knew this guy in real life. So there was no way for her to find anything out. It got to the point where my girlfriend, who happened to know some people in this dude's hometown, was trying to get people to go knock on his door
Oh,
since
shit.
we did know his
They
address.
Neve and maxed him. They catfished him.
Oh. I think it said Neiman Max.
Finally-
I was like, what?
No,
Like,
yeah,
that's
they
one
go
word.
like knock
Yes.
on the door and they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, motherfuckers,
Yeah.
we're here."
Finally, a couple hours after he should have arrived, he calls her. His story was this. He got in the U-Haul and loaded it, then fell asleep and ended up sleeping for half the day, then realized he'd end up having to keep the truck for an extra day, which he couldn't afford. So he decided to unload all of his stuff and then bring the truck back. He told her he'd have to get some more money and would come later.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. We're done here.
Wow.
You can't move in with a man who's not even responsible enough to stay awake.
Wow.
Or if any of that is
True.
even
It's
true.
definitely not
Do you know what I
true.
mean?
It's definitely not true. But even if it was,
Fake
like
news.
you can't date that person.
I hate it.
Yeah. Needless to say, all of her friends were pretty skeptical. I, in particular, was pretty sure he never had any intention of moving. She bought it, the whole thing. She believed him and kept making plans for him to move in, and he never did.
Of course he didn't.
Poor lady.
Of course. What have we said a million times on this show? It's like, if people want to do something, they'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Point
Yep.
blank. Like, come on.
Oh,
All right.
girl. The World of Warcraft thing, real quickly, it just reminds me because I have a really good friend that lived in Florida with her boyfriend at the time, and we went down to Florida and visited them, and we were hanging out, and we went to Disney World, and Dude Face was like almost backed out of going to Disney because he wanted to play World of Warcraft. He was so fucking grumpy the whole day and moped around and like walked like with his head down, moping the whole fucking day because he couldn't play World of Warcraft.
That shit is super addictive.
Dude, we would go in
super.
We'd go in the house, he wouldn't even fucking talk to us. If we were in their house, he was on the fucking computer playing.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
No, that's that.
Wow.
World of Warcraft in particular. I remember my brother went through a phase where, I mean, he was literally up there playing it all the time, like all the time. Like I
Dude.
barely saw him.
Wow.
So yeah, okay. I went back to his place, presumably for sex, and the pillowcases were stained with blood. Place was filled with empty beer cans. 4, I kid you not, 4 rusty, hair-filled razors in the shower. All of them were his. He lived alone. The sink was coated in hair and toothpaste. I was so disturbed.
Oh my God.
Then he told me he had a suspended license and a kid he'd never met, and I hightailed it home.
Oh my.
That is a saw
Oh,
bathroom.
no.
Can you fucking imagine?
No.
Like rusty razors with hair in them, like toothpaste in
Like
a
a blinking
sink.
fluorescent
Yes. Yes. I imagine there's probably one of those one of those sticky fly catcher strips in there.
in the kitchen.
Oh,
In the kitchen for sure.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Why is there blood
I
on the
fucking hate
pillows?
a dirty
I'm assuming
sink.
nosebleeds.
I'm hoping that's it.
Cocaine nosebleeds, kids.
Like, okay, if you're going over to someone's house, she says in the beginning, presumably for sex. So you
You know.
can't change your pillowcases?
I hate
Bare
this.
mins.
Ugh.
Like,
Bear mints. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm guessing you want to fuck her on that bed. So could you please change the sheets?
Fucking gross.
Hair
too hungover
everywhere.
for that.
Gross.
Gross.
Ugh. Okay.
Oh my God.
I definitely have seen a lot of awkward last dates. I used to work at a very small neighborhood restaurant. Everyone that came in was a regular. Most of the couples were in their 40s and 50s out for a quiet dinner, but there was one standout. Wow. There was one standout. I am so bad at wording today. A very handsome man in his early 30s would come in, it seems only to break up with women. About twice a month, he would
That's his
come
breakup restaurant.
Apparently.
He's got a breakup spot.
About twice a month, he would come in with a beautiful woman, and partway through their meal, she would be crying. I always tried to clean the tables near them. for
Oh,
as
amen.
long
I
as
was about to
possible.
say, I would have 100%. I would have swept the same spot on the floor for like 20 minutes just trying to hear what they were saying.
oh, I love it.
As long as possible, but I never heard much of his speech. He always tipped well and was super nice to me and my coworkers. It was brutal seeing him bring in a new lady and knowing what she was about to go through.
That is awesome.
I want to poll
Oh,
our
having-
listeners and see if anybody else has like a breakup spot. They're like, this is my breakup spot. I only go here for breaking up.
Yeah, I don't like to do that kind of thing like in public.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Like, ugh, man, that's why there's a deli that I used to like that was that's kind of near me. Fucking great Reuben. And I can't go there anymore. So it's where, you know, my marriage like took a dive and I'm like just crying over Reuben.
Oh.
Now I can't eat it anymore.
Reclaim the Reuben.
Ooh,
I know,
reclaim
right?
the Reuben. I think we have a new shirt now.
Hashtag reclaim the Reuben.
Reclaim the Reuben.
Oh.
Amazing.
Okay. I do not have another one.
That's
Those are my two. I think we all out. Well, if you guys have stories, short ones, even if they're just 3 words long, send them to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media podcast.